Amongst the believers are those who have passed. Some are still waiting, and they have not changed in the least. Inshallah, Allah will make us those true soldiers of the Imam. Now, I want to see if there's a practical way that we can judge ourselves and see, are we those people who haven't changed in the least or not? Because there was a beautiful verse that was recited by all of the verses which have been recited by our speakers have been wonderful. But one of them that I like for us to think about just a little bit is the one that was recited by our dear Sheikh. A lot of times when people are looking for signs of the coming of the Imam, we go to the books of Ahadith, we try and find out which signs have happened, which signs haven't happened, how close is it. But one of the biggest signs that you and I should be looking for is our own personal readiness. Inna Allah la yughayyiru ma biqawmin hatta yughayyiru ma bi anfusihim. Allah will not change the position of a people until they change themselves. If we want the Imam to come, and we want to see, instead of incremental change, which is what we're seeing right now, slowly the masses, even non-Muslims, are starting to wake up. You know, it's a shame sometimes. We'll have a protest because Muslims are being oppressed, and you'll see the majority of the people in the crowd are non-Muslims. Sometimes Muslims, you know, they're not afraid to curse America from their couches, but then Israel goes and does something. Just come out in the streets. Nobody's going to get you. Nobody's going to harm you. You know, the brother's saying, prepare yourself even if you were to be arrested for civil disobedience. You have rights. Can I share a little story with you guys? There was a man who was on his way to America back in the day. So this guy, in those days you had to travel to America by boat. So he saved all of his money, everything he had, in order to buy a ticket to ride on that boat. But he had to keep himself alive for the duration of the trip. So what he did was he packed some cheese and crackers in his suitcase, and he went and he sat in the boat. Now the other passengers on the boat, apparently a little bit more wealthy than him, every night they'd have a delicious meal. They'd go down to that main part, they'd sit down, they'd eat, they enjoyed himself. And my man would take out his cheese and crackers and eat them. And he would imagine what it would be like to be in the main cabin, enjoying what everybody else was enjoying. One day, one of the brothers or sisters who was there came by and saw him. They said, "Brother, you're eating cheese and crackers. How come you don't come down to the rest of the other part of the boat where we're all there and we're all eating?" The man was ashamed. He was like, "You know, I didn't bring that much money. I can't afford to pay the price of those meals." The guy said, "You poor fellow, the price of the meals was included in the ticket." Now, brothers and sisters, you're living here in the West. One of your rights is to protest. One of your rights. Nobody gonna get you. Nobody gonna torture you. Pull out your fingernails. You have the right to protest. You have the right to be different. Everybody else, Sikhs feel happy to wear turbans. Others feel happy to impose their culture. But yet, as a Muslim young man or woman, when I go to work, I'm the first one to stick my hand out there. Astaghfirullah Rabbi wa atubu ilayh. No, be proud. Don't change. I don't shake hands, baby. Don't change in the least. Stand up for your values. When your culture differs with the common culture, then say, yes, I am a Muslim. I am different. Some amongst the believers have gone before. Some have fulfilled that covenant. Some are still waiting and haven't changed in the least. Now we're looking for some practical, we are talking about the concept of loyalty. Loyalty to the cause. Now this is tough, because this is one of those values that doesn't exist anymore. There is no true loyalty. We're bound by our interests and our commitments. As long as those are there, we do that. We're not brave and stick to the cause no matter what. You know what a wonderful example of loyalty is? Go to the sandy plains of Karbala to see the ultimate example of loyalty and then to get some inspiration for what we have to do practically. On the day of Karbala, Hazrat Abbas went and fought through the enemy, got to the water, was about to drink some water. فَتَذَكَّرَ عَطَشَ أَخِيهِ. He remembered the thirstiness of his brother. He said, I can't even drink water if my brother doesn't have water. He dropped the water back down. Loyalty, believing in the cause, not apologizing for being a Muslim. You know the first sign of loyalty to God, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the best of our friends? Let me recite a verse of Quran for you. In kuntum tuhibbuna Allah fattabi'uni. If you love Allah, then obey me. Obey the Prophet of Allah. We have to have taqwa if we're loyal. If we love Allah, we have to have that basic level of taqwa, the wajibat, avoiding what is haram. If I knowingly violate Allah's laws, personally, that's not being loyal.